May. So they found these things amongst there's these, I don't know how they detect why they think this is a Dyson sphere, but if it just makes sense that if civilization can go from being hunter-gatherers to being people that fly in airplanes and look at VR and enter into the matrix like we're clearly doing, that if you just keep that going 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, you're going to get to some insane level of technological ability.
You have to.
Yeah.
Like you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
So maybe we are just like kind of in the beginning stages of like, maybe there's humans elsewhere in the galaxies far, far, far away, like some Star Wars type, right? And we just haven't gotten there yet, but we're close. I mean, we're seeing how close we're getting with everything.
That's what Terrence Howard had a crazy theory about.
I have to watch that one. I've seen little clips, but I've got to.
They're both good. The first one's great because he just kind of goes kooky, and then the second one's great because Eric Weinstein, who's like a legitimate genius from Harvard, sort of settles him down and explains what's incorrect and what is correct. And some of the stuff is very correct, and some of the stuff is really fascinating. He's Terrence is clearly a genius, but he's like self-taught, and sometimes when you don't have peers correcting you, and
you gotta have that.
Yeah, you have to have actual. It's like if a martial artist, like, I got this move, bro. And like, try this on me. Right?
It works in the streets. It works on everybody. It's like, no, try it on me. Like,
but Terrence has this brilliant idea about that. What happens is you have a star, and then the particles that eject from the star are what creates these planets. And when the planets get to a certain distance from the star, when they develop that Goldilocks zone, he goes, they eventually develop people. And he thinks it's like peopling. It's like when you see like crops growing. Oh, it's the time of the year, the rain and the soil, crops are growing. And they're far away from the sun, they're peopling. They're making people. And that this is what happens. And then as time passes and the society, if it survives, doesn't kill itself, gets further and further from the sun, it has to develop the technological ability to keep the planet hospitable. And then it goes even past that to the point where they develop these things like Dyson spheres, and they develop the ability to manipulate their environment, create black holes. They develop the ability essentially to create new universes.
Yeah.
Just ultimately over hundreds of millions of years or whatever it takes.
So he explained this, and then someone you said stepped in.
As time passes and the society, if it survives, doesn't kill itself, gets further and further from the sun, it has to develop the technological ability to keep the planet hospitable. And then it goes even past that to the point where they develop these things like Dyson spheres, and they develop the ability to manipulate their environment, create black holes. They develop the ability essentially to create new universes.
Yeah.
Just ultimately over hundreds of millions of years or whatever it takes.
So he explained this, and then someone you said stepped in and kind of like,
he didn't correct, because that's just a theory, and it's a fascinating theory. And Terrence has a lot of like really interesting ideas, but that was one of the most interesting ones. That like every solar system, the reason why we see it here, and the reason why when they look at the Webb telescope, it's found a bunch of these planets that are in the Goldilocks zone. And he thinks that this is just a normal occurrence. That these planets, as time goes on, our planet is getting further from the sun, and eventually the sun will burn out. But as time goes on, as our planet gets further and further from the sun, it's not going to be hospitable anymore. It's going to get to a point where it's like Mars, and Mars at one point in time was hospitable. Mars, they think Mars had water on it. Mars might have even had life on it. We don't know, but it could be billions and billions of years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So this theory is pretty wild, that like all this stuff is just basically particles that eject from the sun and then eventually coalesce and form a sphere and form a planet. And initially these planets are like very close to the sun, and they're, insanely hot. But as they get further and further out, they reach that Goldilocks zone, and that's when they start developing life. And then ultimately develop a very highly intelligent form of life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do we know where this theory like came from?
I think that's Terrence's theory. Terrence has 97 patents. What does that mean? I don't know, because apparently people that have explained it to me say you can actually just file patents, and the people that are working in the office, they're not sophisticated enough to know, especially in various disciplines, as to whether or not what you're saying is real or actionable. It's like, is this something that you could really have a patent for? But they'll let you file for the patent.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. Yeah.
Wow.
But the idea that every solar system eventually has a planet that gets to that spot where it's just enough so it gets water, just enough so it has like all of the things that's necessary for life. And then if you want to get really crazy, then you think that the planets that are farther and further out, that have the super intelligent, ultra advanced species, what they do is they come back and they help us. They come back and then pick up the pace, boys. You know what I mean? They give us a little crash UFO here and there. They give us this, give us a little that, maybe even manipulate us. That's the ultimate theory.
The ultimate theory. I mean, it sounds kind of cool, right?
Well, it's just like Carl,
yeah,
it looks very different than a wolf, right? We look very different from all the people on the planet. Like there's so many varieties of humans. We're very similar to dogs in that regard, and that we can all breed with each other, but yet we look very different. So you could take like a golden retriever and they breed them with a poodle, or a Labrador, you make a Labradoodle, but they're still dogs, right? But they look very, very different. Well, that's only dogs that are like that, right? Like fish, bass all look like bass. Zebras look like zebras. There's something about us that's real weird. And you can attribute it to climate and different environments to grow, and some of those changes have to have taken place from that too, for sure. But if you buy into all this Anunnaki craze, the reason why we are so different than all the other primates is because they introduced their DNA
to us.
Yes.
To like the
and created us.
Oh, wow.
And created us out of lower hominids. right?
Yeah.
Which is so fun.
It's super cool. Yeah, I mean, like,
it's so fun to think if it's true.
I've looked at some of that stuff a little bit before, but I didn't allow myself to get too deep.
Yeah, you can get deep on that.
But yeah, definitely an interesting like perspective and like way to like kind of break down humanity in a way.
Well, we are a mystery. You know, we are the ones who've created this theory of evolution and the fossil record and all those things. But the thing that created it is the biggest mystery, the human brain. The human brain doubled in size over a period of 2 million years. And apparently it's the biggest mystery in the entire fossil record. They have no idea what happened.
Is it still growing or?
Probably. Probably,
like,
probably just growing slow. You know, another
like,
2 million years from now it might double again.
Ladies, this is going to sound crazy, but the traits that make you successful in your career
I got it. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in today to Black Life. The reboot. Today, I wanted to talk about what is woke in Black Life. That is what we're going to be talking about today. And as you can see, Joe Rogan has some interesting things to share with us about Mr. Terrence Howard. And when I'm thinking about what is woke, what it means to be woke, to me, I'm gonna give you my perspective.
I can't hear you anymore. Something happened.
I can hear myself. I can hear me. I turned my mic off because it was gonna be an echo, but I could clearly hear it, and I mean I can see everybody can hear me. If I'm too low, can you let me know if you can't hear me clearly?
Michael, can you hear her?
Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2.
I don't hear anything.
You're not gonna.
Why does this always happen
It's okay.
on your show? I don't understand. I can't hear shit. Michael, can you hear?
I can hear you clearly.
He said he hears both of us loud and clear.
Yes, me too.
Oh, so maybe it's my. Okay, thank you. Well, shout out to Nahilo Nordstrom for adminning for us today. We really appreciate you, and we love you.
Black, very welcoming and inclusive.
I have to leave and come back.
It's not restricted just to Black people.
Sometimes you have to leave and come back.
What's up, Nahilo? Nahilo?
Still don't hear shit.
I think you're on mute. You're on mute. My bad. You have to unmute him.
He's not. He's off stage. You want to bring him on stage?
I mean,
if
he wants to come in.
There he is.
There you go.
He said hi.
Bring him on stage.
What's up?
Oh, I can hear you.
There he is.
I can pop in and say hello. How's everyone?
Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, of course.
I gotta mute the TV though.
I appreciate you helping us. So hopefully we can work out some of the kinks and find a nice rhythm and flow. You know. So if you hear anything crazy, I gotta keep my my mic off my headphones because this mic is so big and my voice is so strong, it doubles. It makes a crazy noise. So I think we can keep it like this and we can flow good with it. I probably could push it back like this.
Okay, I can't hear it. I don't know what's going on. You want me to take you off stage?
Well, I just got my making my dog her supper. I'm just got some ground beef in the pan right now.
Okay, I'll take you off stage.
Thanks again, man. I appreciate you. So, as I was saying, what is woke in Black life? And I'm speaking on from my perspective, when I first heard the word woke, it meant enlightened to me. It meant enlightened, to be enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
And as the years went by, I started to become more enlightened and learning about the authentic Black life. And it was so intriguing and amazing and sad and caused all kind of emotions. And so I wanted to create an opportunity to talk about it, to listen to other people's opinions about it, and to grow and to gain more from my time here on this beautiful earth. That's pretty much what I want to do. So today we started out talking about Terrence Howard's theories. Did you hear how many patents Terrence Howard has? Did you hear?
I did.
Abidu has a distaste for Mr. Terrence Howard. She doesn't particularly have the same, inspiration as I do from listening to his mind.
I think he thinks he's smarter than what he is, but that's my opinion.
I mean,
everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Of course, we all are unique beings, but his opinion is exact to me. Now, I'm not speaking to anyone else. If you think that his opinion after this man has been, this is a very enlightened man, right? His delivery may not always be the best, but he definitely is a very highly intelligent person, and that
he's not dumb.
That's my point.
He's not
your cup of tea.
No, he's just not. His theories aren't correct, but he's not.
According to who?
I mean, he kept sending Neil deGrasse Tyson
and
papers and stuff, and Neil deGrasse Tyson like went through it and explained to him why it wasn't correct.
Let me tell you something. That I disagree.
It's okay.
And I'm gonna interject because he did not say that he was incorrect. He said he disagreed. He didn't say he was incorrect, and we could definitely pull it up and talk about it. I'm sure there's a quick. I'm sure there's a quick short about his response to.
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, you can look it up, and we could see. But that's not my point. My point is, in my Black life, when I hear the word woke, it's not the woke that what's the governor from Florida?
Can we talk about how they've taken the word woke?
I want to talk about the governor from Florida. What's his name? DeSantis.
DeSantis, yes.
Okay, I believe he was the one that started to turn the needle on woke. I mean, it was already going crazy, but then he took it a step further by blocking Black history, by doing all of these outrageous things, right? So I'm not talking, when I say woke, I'm not talking about DeSantis and his followers' versions of woke.
Look, Jacqueline from the UK, she's never heard it. He's an actor.
Terrence Howard.
He's not an educator, but he is not. He's not stupid. He's a self-taught man.
He's a self-taught genius.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Play back Joe Rogan.
Let me ask you this, Jacqueline. Okay, I saw Terrence Howard in person. Okay, and he was talking about the sound of A on it's 440, and he went on and on and on, and I'm like, well, you are an actor, you have way more money than me. How the fuck do I know that in Europe the sound of A is 444, and in America the sound of A is 440? How you don't know that?
Okay.
And you over here trying to tell us, to teach us something.
Stop.
I'm just saying.
Frankly, if that's your foundation for why you don't respect what else he's accomplished. It's a Levain.
No, I'm just.
It sounds like a minor. I'm just saying.
They not like us.
I'm just saying.
They not like us.
I'm just saying. You know, I respect what this man has accomplished. I don't know him personally.
I don't disrespect what he's accomplished.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's real.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. It's real.
Okay.
And I'm saying it just validates my perception of woke in my Black life. In my Black life, being woke means being enlightened and intelligent and spiritual and all of that good stuff combined.
Well, can we pull up the origin of woke?
It's definitely not talking about American politics, American problems, white privilege, wanting to be this and that. That has nothing to do with my perception of or definition of woke. Agree, disagree, comment?
So woke was derived from I mean, they used to call it Ebonics. Now they call it African American Vernacular English.
I mean, we
aren't African American though, but whatever.
But can I ask you a question?
Okay.
This is my question, and I take it everything like that.
Rondo's
who said it? I want to know who said it. Who created this? Wikipedia?
No, we don't have to go to Wikipedia. We can go somewhere else.
No,
Michael, can you put up that that comment from Rondo?
I'm saying
the term has been around for a long time. So the phrase "stay woke" has been present in if that's what we want to call it these days, since the 1930s. In some contexts, it referred to an awareness of social and political issues affecting African Americans. Well, I don't call us African Americans.
Tariq Nasheed.
I just don't. That's just me.
And you see how that's unique to you because what you learned, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying this is a platform for us to learn, and then we could choose which direction we want to go. You know what I'm saying?
The way they took that word woke and turned it into something
kind of like nigga.
Yeah.
Kind of like all the names that they've given us are.
Yeah, it was a word that was like it was really near and dear to our hearts for decades.
It's payback for nigga.
Stay woke.
It's payback for nigga.
And they turned that word around and made it I don't even know how to describe it. They turned it around to like a DEI hire. They made everything bad. DEI.
It's amazing.
Affirmative action. The word woke. And
can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
There's this video on social media. I think you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like talking about how
Jacqueline said they weaponized the word woke.
They did, just like they do everything else. But there was a funny video talking about chicken wings, right? The chicken. And I gotta find it. You gotta find it. It's basically talking about how whenever white people discard stuff and then black people get it and turn it into lemon pepper chicken wings.
And then they want it back.
And now they want something.
Now they want a little. It's kind of tasty.
What's going on with those lemon pepper chicken wings? It's kind of tasty.
Kind of tasty.
That's pretty much what happens with anything that we love. If we love it, it will be destroyed, or it will be rebranded into sticky bands. You know what I mean? Rondo, I'm pretty sure you heard of sticky bands.
You're funny.
I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah, God bless the truth.
I'm not trying to front or lie. All right, so when I talk about being woke and being highly enlightened and intelligent, one of the names that pops up into my mind is Billy Carson. It's going to bring me into the next video.
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson. We can learn about him together on this show. But yeah.
So going to the next video?
But you can delete this one. So,
no, it's fine.
Well, it's cool.
Just, yeah.
I usually like delete on
No, I'm okay.
But okay. So, there's a question about where did race come from? How was race thrust upon us?
They created it.
And when you say they, who are they?
Colonizers.
If that's what you think, I want you to dive a little bit into the woke world of BlackLIFE.
All right.
One of the most intelligent people
Let's go.
that I can introduce our BlackLIFE audience to is Billy Carson. Right?
Okay.
So let's talk about where did race come from in the first place? Now, some people could agree. Some people call Terrence Howard and Billy Carson insane. I love it. I love when you hear words and descriptors on black people like that. That means they just invented.
He's not insane.
Listen.
Okay.
You remember the man that created the water out of the air?
Yeah.
I'm sure he was considered insane. Mm-hmm. I'm saying if you hear a term on someone insane in a black life, chances are they've done something brilliant because they mislabel us intentionally.
I know Michael has a lot to say about that part.
I'm saying they mislabel us intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see things that people have obviously accomplished that does not even need any validation from anyone, it is what it is. For example, the man that created the Super Soaker, he just won I seen a video
like
of
an $80 million settlement.
Yeah, he just won a settlement
because that company like stole his idea.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is people could call him insane. People could call him crazy. Guess who else we can call crazy and insane? T.I. and his lovely wife. What's her name?
I don't know about lovely.
All right, she's not lovely. Hey, everyone.
You know who they call insane?
What?
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
What's the dude from Bad Boys? Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
They call them insane.
When you have an individual perspective, or you have confidence in yourself, and you try to stand up, you get sucked up sometimes. I mean, you obviously see what's happening with P. Diddy.
Can I read this for you?
Sure.
Nahilo says, crazy is unfortunately more in the eye of the beholder than we would like. Doesn't mean people aren't objectively insane, but who decides? That's the question. Who decides?
Exactly.
Society.
Nahilo.
Society.
Who decides? Society can decide, but it's only one uniform voice for society. It's a media. It's social media, or it's the news media. It's someone that controls or tries to control the opinion and the perspective of society, but they often manipulate it. But at any rate, let's talk about this race.
Video?
Yeah, I want to play this race. I want to play this video because I'm curious to see how the race
just the name on the video sounds insane.
Did ancient aliens create different races? Okay.
Who?
Play it. Let's talk about it on the other side. Let's talk about it on the other side.
How long are we supposed to play it?
Play it, I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Don't believe that. It's foolishness. Okay? You're not light-skinned because your uncles and aunts were working on top of a mountain in Russia.
Yeah.
No. What they discovered was between races, there's a 2% variance in DNA and genes.
Yeah.
2% would take multi-millions of years through natural evolution. Didn't take that long. Only took 200,000 years. So what's going on here?
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
we're branded.
Yeah. Well,
That's kind of interesting, because if humans didn't leave the African continent until how many 100,000 years ago, you're saying that we left prior to the amount of time necessary in order for us to naturally evolve to have these different colors, dick sizes or whatever. So yeah, why did your guys' God love big dicks so much? What is that? What is that about?
When you go to Egypt, that's like, in the museum, you see a lot of statues with big penises.
What is up?
You notice how we didn't look into that, huh? Mr. Carson heard that, he's like, oh, yeah, we gotta check that one out.
But yeah, can you explain that? Yeah, because my God.
You see statue of David, and he got a little strippy on the outside.
Okay, so and then Asians, where the fuck do they come from? That's just crazy.
Yeah, I know. So
because they're.
Hold on.
Okay, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm glad, because I was about to put it in the chat. Frankly, a conversation full of men, if penis and dick size doesn't come up at least once, I think there's a problem. It's all. Look at what just happened with Jamie Foxx and Jerry Jones. Rondo,
I don't know what you're talking
go
about.
ahead and tell April what happened with. Excuse me, Abby, do what happened with Jamie Foxx and Jerry Jones.
You didn't already dox me.
You doxed me.
Hi, I'm April. Jeez.
But Rondo, did you hear about
He
Jerry
said
Jones
Wikipedia
and Jamie Foxx's live video?
What are you talking about?
I want to know if Rondo heard. If he didn't, we can move on.
What is it?
Okay.
He says he has no idea.
Okay, so Jamie Foxx posted a live video.
Go ahead.
Jamie Foxx posted a live video of him sitting at a Cowboys game. I mean, we can look it up.
Oh,
can you look it up?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And he
Rondo, look it up.
He was on a live.
Look it up.
And the
I don't
man
think
was
it's
talking
appropriate.
about the basketball players' penis size. And then he hurried up and turned the live off.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you're talking about?
I'm saying in a conversation with men, you know, like Trump said, it's locker room talk. It's locker room talk. Grab him by the pussy. Grab him by the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Why are we talking about this right now?
I'm trying to get through the video. You stop it.
I stopped it because I was like, what is wrong with them?
Okay, but you could let the men talk about their penis, and let's move on and talk about the race. How did race come about?
Race and penis is
extremely.
It goes hand in
this
hand.
side, that's well, that's what Adam said.
Rondo said, "Pause."
All right, let's jump up off that penis part. Let's
jump up off the penis part.
And we continue.
But that wasn't our fault. It's 4 grown men talking about that. I mean, I would talk about penis.
But listen to what he said. Rewind a couple of seconds.
Rewind a couple of seconds.
Yeah, rewind a couple of seconds. He had a question. You know how we all unique people? This boy got a problem.
We
he
just
want to know some answers.
people.
He had a problem. He want to know some answers. So, you gotta let him answer. Gotta let him answer.
You gotta tell him no.
Did your guys' God love big dicks so much? What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, what is that about?
When you go to Egypt, that's like, in the museum, you see a lot of statues with big penises.
What is up? You notice how we didn't look into that, huh? Mr. Carson heard that, he's like, yeah, we gotta check that one out.
But yeah, can you explain that? Yeah, because my God.
You see statue of David, and he got a little strippy on the outside.
Okay, so and then Asians, where the fuck do they come from? That's just crazy.
Yeah, I know. So
because they're the most different.
Yeah, they're really different. But here's what
they are.
I say that because my wife is Asian.
Yeah, so tell me, what's the deal?
Here's the thing. So
Anunnaki.
when you look at the Anunnaki and you discover that they were multiracial people, they all look different. The crew that took to Chem with him, they were all different looking people. Even one person had married a woman from another planet, according to these texts, not according to me. But when he said, go around the planet and duplicate what we did here. Yeah. So now I go, you and I were already in Africa, right? You go to Europe, you go over to Mesoamerica, and you are ruling over people. Now, what does a farmer do right now if they have cows? They brand the cow. So in case my cow wanders off, that's Farmer Jim's cow. We got to get it back to him.
So everybody made their people look like them. That's right. So they knew these are our property.
Let us make man in our image.
Whoa.
I believe my hypothesis is that we are genetically branded people for the people that we were ruled over by.
Whoa. So what color do we all start as?
Only 12% of women-owned firms actually surpass
Okay.
$100,000 in
One thing
annual
we gotta do some housekeeping. One thing I would never do is challenge what you think or believe.
I didn't say
This
I
is a
didn't
safe
challenge
zone.
you. I just said,
You
what
say,
the hell
girl,
is this?
what the hell? Guess
I
what?
just asked a question.
Expand your horizons.
Okay.
Expand your horizons.
Well, first
Right.
of all, I'll just say, for like they said, where the agents come from. So I watched this documentary of this like a DNA specialist. I think he was Chinese. He was Asian. I don't know. And he was trying to prove that they like their race or ethnicity. Shoot, I gotta look them up. But anyway, that they evolved. They came from their own lineage. So he went like he was trying to prove that, and then what he actually proved was that they came from the mitochondrial DNA of the woman in Africa.
The African woman.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I understand that. But we gotta peel this fruit, Abby do. It's a peeling of the fruit.
Brown liquor, no ice is here.
Oh, I'm so brown liquor. I'm not even gonna tell you.
Don't shake it. Don't shake it. Shake it. Don't break it. It took your mama 9 months to make it.
What I'm trying to say is, when we talking about being woke, Abby do, your light in this particular realm, in this particular area, isn't turned on by this. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? But there are several people who dive deep into Billy Carson because he is one of the most knowledgeable black men on this planet. His resources.
This black man with
this
this
black
shirt
man
on
right here, he
is the most knowledgeable
as far as ancient history, as far as art, anything about us, anything.
Him?
Dive deeper a little bit before you critique.
Okay.
Before you say things, this is a show of learning.
Yep.
We learn before we judge on BlackLIFE.
Okay.
Because we have been judged. And we have been lied to. And we have been deceived. I'm asking you, Abidu, if you're curious and you don't want to just make a judgment call on my boy just because you heard something that you was like, what the fuck he said?
Well, he got an Asian wife.
Well, that's something that you're going to have to ask him personally. I mean, we date outside the race. Have you? Okay, so what you judging my boy for?
But then I realized.
You were enlightened. Enlightened. But maybe not. I'm just saying, you can't judge somebody by those kind of standards. Especially if you don't want that mirror flipped back on you. And you know what?
You can't have black wealth if you become wealthy and then you just picking up people from other races.
Now let me ask you something.
Then the wealth is not in your community anymore.
But can I ask you something?
Okay.
I'm serious. Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Does that mean every interracial relationships end up that way? Everyone. Because I guarantee you, I know about 3 where it was interracial and the person that was non-black preserved the life and dignity of the black partner or spouse or whomever. I'm just saying, you just can't. I understand about Dr. Umar's, philosophy of, what's he call it? Bunny
I'm just saying. Most wealthy black men
marry outside the race.
Marry outside their race.
The money
and
doesn't
then
go back.
the money does not come back to the community.
Let me ask you a question.
It gets watered down.
Let me ask you a question.
And then they children marry outside their right, and then before you know it, it ain't even black no more.
Hold up, I got
I'm just saying.
Big burning question.
Okay.
While the motherfuckers are still alive, married to the opposite race or another race, where the fuck they money at in the black community?
Nowhere.
Exactly. So I don't give two fucks. You act like the money is gonna be missing from that motherfucking black community. It ain't missing if that bitch never came up. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if they never did shit for us,
screaming.
I'm sorry to be screaming. I'll push this motherfucker.
No, don't scream in my ear.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm thinking about James Earl Jones, and I seen a lot of my family post videos about him passing. James Earl, such a
Should I pull up that video?
Pull up what you want.
His behavior was
pull up what you want.
Atrocious.
Pull up what you want.
All right, let me find it.
While I talk about it.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say
talk
is,
about it and I'll pull it
in
up.
my journey of being woke, I discovered the direct words from Mr. James Earl Jones. And it wasn't very flattering or complimentary.
And he had that white woman sitting up there next to him, co-signing his ass. I couldn't believe it.
Now look, I'm not going to just judge a person off one video. I'm going to judge them off their life. I'm going to judge them off their behavior.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. But that video, come on, man.
It was not good.
You sitting your ass up there talking about black women and your white wife. It's like, yeah, I find that behavior. I'm not going to speak for him. I mean, Abigail, if you can find it, that would be great.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
But I totally, at that point, changed my perspective on
who he was.
And,
here
mind you,
here you go.
Why you set that up?
You want to hear? Here you go.
Wait a minute. While you set that up, I got another question.
Okay.
For Rondo, Brown Liquor, Jackie, I know you got limited, exposure to this BlackLIFE, but I want to ask you.
Jackie said she
I'm trying to ask her. So
Jackie is she invited to the cookout.
Of course, she invited to my cookout at any time. But I want to know, have anybody in here watched Good Times? Good Times. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
I got something to say.
What?
I want to know if our listeners has ever watched an episode of Good Times.
James?
Wait, let's show you a video of James Earl. Because James is something today. James going to be one of them names today. If your name is James, in the comments section,
James talk about he left.
Wait,
I can't say it.
No, play the video. Let's work in a synchronized
Okay.
avenue.
Okay. Here we go. I gotta put it.
So yeah, James Earl Jones is sitting. Can you pronounce her name?
No. I don't care.
News.
I do not care.
I'm assuming this is someone he's dating. At the
Jim, do black men marry white women because of the nature of black women? I know in some of our earlier conversations you mentioned that the black women you've met have been uptight. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'll answer the one question. What do I mean by uptight? Going toward a more militant attitude about their own identity. And in many ways are way ahead of the black man because I don't know why, but
at that point I know it's
in many ways are replacing the black man. There's a whole almost unfeminine aspect of the black militant woman.
Do you find that some black women you've known out of your personal experience blame the black man for what happened to them in slavery even today?
Of course. if the black man,
what is he saying?
of the causes, failed to protect her, left her in a position where she had to sell herself or bargain with her body and so on. Yes, she had there's resentment about that, but it's very complex now. You see, I think in another generation you'll get a whole crop uptight about their position in society. There are many, because I'm generalizing now, many are overreacting against Aunt Jemima, the Aunt Jemima image, the submissive Mother Earth type, unselfish, all giving, especially all giving to the white man, sexually and in the kitchen and every other way. And she's also overreacting against the problem of having to be the breadwinner, the matriarch of the house. The myth of the black matriarch is really a myth, because she is not. It wasn't her choice. Many black women, I'm sure, once they found this job had a certain social and political dignity to it, relished it and wielded the rolling pin, like any minority group mama would do. But no matter how much she might relish it, it wasn't her choice to begin with. She would always have preferred the black male to have run the house, to have saved her from white rapists, white slave owners.
Why did you marry Jim? But first,
why'd you marry this white woman?
Do you know what Jim means by the uptightness of black women?
Oh, yes.
You've been in the theater.
Well, I felt it. I've sensed it with almost every black woman that we know, whether they accept me or not. Whether there's always a tolerance, but there's always hostility behind it. I can understand it intellectually. Thank God I didn't have to go through the process that made it occur. I happen to think it's a good thing that they're showing hostility. I think it's the only thing they can show at the moment, and I think
I'm agree with her right there.
I agree with it. I agree with it at that part.
So what we saying?
Like they both saying
what we
real
both
stuff.
saying is they are saying some good shit, but they are also speaking out of turn. You don't speak on me. Let me talk for me. Who the hell is you, James Earl Jones, with your Hazinski news? Newsizi. What? How the fuck you pronounce that name?
Hazakia.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Try it. I don't think shit.
Hazakia, maybe.
My point is this.
She didn't lie though.
Let me tell you what I did not like about this video.
It's not her place to speak for us.
That's right. Your parents teach you that. Who the fuck was James Earl Jones' mama?
A black woman.
Exactly. And I want to know what she had to do and had to say if she heard him in this discussion with his bride-to-be. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is I didn't appreciate it. Felt disrespectful.
Sean say, how high were they doing this?
Yeah. Did you see her smile when he was talking about how black women wanted black men to fight for them, to stand up for them? And she came, look, man, I'm a little emotional about that kind of stuff. I don't know.
We gotta move past it.
Yeah, we can move past it.
We're just gonna piss me the fuck off.
I'm gonna go ahead and play my next video.
What's your next video?
My next video is talking about
this one right here.
End. No, we talking about the end of the blind faith. The end of the blind.
Not this.
No.
That's what you said.
Take it off.
That's what you said.
Go back here. Go back here. It's this one right here.
Oh, okay.
All right. So when it comes up, hold up. I mean,
there
you gotta set it up. You gotta set it up.
Don't worry
about it. But my
it.
point is, when black people truly are
this
woke.
Same dude.
Excuse me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
Now this was disrespectful about what you're doing. Because you
Tosh,
talk
I'm not
about all
trying to
these.
be
Hold up.
disrespectful.
Hold up.
Just chill.
I'm gonna explain. Hold up.
Chill,
No,
chill,
no. I want.
chill.
This is dialogue. No, I really want to talk about this because you have political people that you listen to, that you expose me to, right? I could easily say, "Look at this dumbass what the hell
I
is he
didn't
talking
say
about?"
that though.
But you are treating it like that.
No,
You
I'm
did.
not. I just said it's the same dude.
No, but
That's
what
all
you
I
said about him
said.
earlier. What did you say about him earlier? Be honest. What you said about him earlier. What the hell? Right? If you don't agree with something, that's totally fine. I promise. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Because that's what makes us uniquely different.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to agree with everything with me. You're supposed to have your own thing so I can learn from you and then expand my own bubble. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate if you don't like something or disagree or want to challenge, this is my favorite part. If you want to challenge something that I believe in, guess what you may do? You just may very well enlighten me and have me to be woke at a different level. Because that's exactly what my friends did for me.
Mm-hmm.
You did that for me. I'm going to admit something to my viewers.
Fist pump.
I'm going to admit something. Uh-oh. I'm going to admit something. I used to watch MSNBC faithfully. I was a morning Joe watcher. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was chasing intelligence. I'm going to be honest. I was looking for black intelligence. I was looking for intelligent black people that could articulate what's going on in the current world. And MSNBC just so happened to have some high scholar attorneys, some high scholar political people, pundits, business people. And so I started chasing it. I started chasing black intelligence. Why the hell?
And I came along and I said, "What the fuck are you watching? Are you really watching this bullshit?"
Oh my God.
John H is here.
Thanks, John. What's up? What's up? I cannot believe how faithful I was watching that. And it was like a light switch. Along with Abby Do, I have another very great friend who helped me to realize the power of the media.
That the world is a stage.
The world is a stage. Today I heard Shaq say twice in an old video, NBA stands for nothing but actors.
Nothing but actors.
Nothing but actors.
Steve is here.
What's up,
Hi,
Steve?
Wolfie. That's awesome. So you want me to play this now?
Dude. Yeah, and I want to give a little pretext.
Okay, give pretext and I'll play it.
Because I said.
And thank you for you for saying that about me. I appreciate it.
What's that? About us
what
and
you
our
just
differences?
Said. No, about what you just said about me.
Yeah. Enlighten me and expanding it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely did that.
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you. I should be thanking you for stopping me from faithfully watching Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and those kind of fucking Chris, whatever his little
Chris
fucking
Hayes.
I cannot believe. I was trusting. I was one of these boomers, but at a younger age.
You was a baby boomer?
Oh my God. No, you know what it was? My grandmother watched soap operas. I hung out with old people for a good minute. You know what I mean? And they believe this shit.
My aunt sent me a video today about Project 2025. I think I'm gonna play it on our way out because I thought it was hilarious. My aunt
wait a minute.
She
on our way out.
She feels like if we don't vote Kamala Harris in,
we destroy.
Then we are going. America is going downhill. And I'm just like, oh Lord.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
And this, I know you get mad at me when I ask older people this, and just I don't even challenge them that much. I don't even use a hard voice. I want you to ask her if she thinks the world is going to be what? If
she thinks democracy is going to come to an end.
Okay.
Because that's what they keep telling them.
So they told us that if Trump was elected, the world would come to an end. You better elect Biden, right? We fucking elect Biden. Look at the world. What she think about this motherfucker now?
Thank you.
Like what's going on? Is she comfortable?
You can't talk to you can't.
I just want them to admit.
No, you gotta leave these old people alone. If you 70 plus,
they just love them.
leave them alone.
They love Democrats. Democrats can shit in their shoes.
Aren't you too young to be a baby boomer, BlackLIFE?
Yeah, I am. Well, I hung out with her.
But she was acting like one.
I hung out with her.
We still hang out with them. We love them.
Yeah, I do love them.
We hang out with the old people. We was with 2 old people today.
Look.
Oh no, you wasn't there. I was.
I think we should. I think we should always keep links because that's what communities are, Jack. That's what we're missing in America.
You have to stay connected to people who are like 25 years your senior and 25 years your junior. Well, actually, the junior, you can start all the way from a baby. Right. But at least 25 to 30 years your senior, because they have information, they have knowledge that they can help you stay relevant, current. Is relevant the right word? I'm not sure.
Engaged. That's a better word. You know why? Because Jacqueline, I'm interested in the people that's in our chats. In your community, do you notice, like if you are going and driving through a predominantly Black area, do you notice abandonment in like an increase? Like, do you notice businesses are abandoned, closed down, houses that used to look so beautiful, lawns and all of that, and now all of a sudden it looks trashy and unkept? That's like an epidemic in Black communities because of the lack of community, because of the lack of connection. Hold up. Can I finish my thought?
Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome.
Because of the lack of connection between the elders, between the people our age, the younger people, and being new parents and teaching your children and creating a foundation. It's a disconnect in the Black community, in BlackLIFE, about that word community. Because community creates resources to fill in the gaps. A neighborhood creates enemies and paranoia and drugs and violence and epidemics of that proportion. That's what we have in our Black communities. And what I'm trying to say is we have to change it. We have to change it. And I don't care if we start small and change it in just pockets.
May I?
Yes.
May I comment?
Sure, you can.
Okay. I don't like to punch down like it's the community's fault, because there is a lack of resources being poured into the community.
Can I ask you a question? But can I ask you a question? Accountability.
I wasn't finished.
I know, but the word I want to seep into there is accountability. Because sometimes we step on eggshells not to address certain situations in Black communities because, I don't know, we don't want to offend.
I'm not punching down. I'm not punching down.
It's not about punching down. It's being accountable for choices.
May I?
Of course, sir.
Okay. Because you keep punching down.
I'm not. Tell me why you think that's punching down.
Okay, if you keep punching down.
How is that punching down?
Because
explain it to me.
There is a lack of resources being poured into those communities on purpose.
When did I say anything about that? Just
saying,
because I want us to fight.
We live in food deserts. We have we have an excess of liquor stores and beauty supply stores, but we don't have grocery stores. We don't have businesses.
Can I tell you something?
In the Black community.
Okay.
That is on purpose.
But can I say something to you? What you're overlooking? There's a lot of old, abandoned, Black-owned businesses. People are sitting on things. Okay, don't squeeze my leg. I know you want me to tamper it down, and I'm not going to yell about it. But I'm hold people accountable. If you own if you're a Black person that owns a home that is not up, that's not kept up, that's not punching down. That's saying be accountable. Do something with it. And if you can't,
you have to go to a bank.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying.
Funding.
Okay.
To do something with it.
To keep your grass up.
You go to a bank. Go to a bank. And let's see how much money they're gonna give you.
Excuse me.
Go ahead. Just go. I'm just saying. Stop punching down.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have to have a loan from a bank to pick up trash of a property you own?
Okay.
Well, I'm asking that.
Okay.
I'm just asking you to answer that.
I want to answer if you let me.
Okay.
Okay. So when people are depressed, when people don't feel good about what's going on in their life, what do? Okay. They drop clothes everywhere. Okay. You just fussed at me to let you finish. Let me finish. When people are depressed and they're living in despair, they don't feel good about themselves. And it shows in the way they treat themselves. They don't pick up behind themselves. They don't keep up with the property because they don't feel good.
Okay. I hear
That's
you.
what I'm trying to say to you.
I hear you. But guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to create a safe haven for people to listen, for people to stay there for an extended period of time. That's what I'm talking about the importance of community. Because if I'm your sister and I see you in that state, you're not staying in that state alone. Community provides much more than those kind of physical resources. Community provides spiritual.
BlackLIFE. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
You cut me off, but you can ask me. Go ahead.
Jacqueline said we need a marriage counselor.
If only we were married.
We're not married. What are you talking about? That's funny. Okay, so shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Jacqueline threw me off.
That was good, Jack. Thank you about that.
What did you say? I got thrown off. Oh, this is what I want to say. So when you talk about like having community to, like connect the dots that aren't necessarily connected in your family home, like it takes a village to raise a child type of situation.
Right. That used to mean something.
Okay, it did used to mean something, but
it was real.
Okay, but we also used to have neighborhoods where we were like collective, and now it gets gentrified. It's so much chaos. People have to move. People have to go this way and that way. And we don't have community anymore.
Hold up. You don't just blame that on gentrification.
I didn't.
I know you mentioned it, but I
didn't just blame it on gentrification.
I know you didn't. Okay. I'm saying you don't just. Did I say that's what you only do? Look at my language. My language clear. Clear.
Mm.
I'm saying you don't just focus on that part. You also focus.
No, keep talking. I'm sorry. I threw you off. I'm sorry.
You know what?
I pointed so Sean, you could see what Sean was saying. I didn't mean to throw you off. I'm sorry.
I appreciate it. But this is what I want. I want to share this with the audience and with you. I'm undiagnosed SPED. I'm undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah, you ADHD.
You make certain movements, you do certain things, and the motion of me talking, it's over.
It throws you off.
It completely.
Okay.
I mean, we're not just meeting today.
I've been through this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to ask you to support that.
Yeah.
But not just suddenly while I'm talking.
Point and say, look at that.
Because what? Let me tell you what that resembles. If we have a puppy right here and we playing with them, and all of a sudden we bring a bone or a ball and we put it in their face. You feel what I'm saying?
Sean said
you make
he's
a movement.
ADHD too.
Huh?
Sean said him too.
It's hard.
But look, he said it's hard to live for something when you have nothing.
That's right.
That's the thing I wanted you to look at, but then we got on ADHD.
Okay.
So
can you repeat that for me, Sean?
He said it's hard to live for something when you have nothing. That's what he said. Nahilo. Oh, I just missed it. Oh, thank you, Nahilo. I was just reading today that mental illness costs the economy the equivalent of a recession every year.
And it's just like Abby said, it's intentional. It's intentional at how people are labeled to get into the world of mental health as kids. The treatment, the diagnosis of kids and their disabilities and abilities, that's being mismanaged in education and in the medical field. And so, of course, that's going to distort our communities and our society. And nobody really paying attention to it. It's like, as a special ed teacher, the world of SPED continues to go, even if the reports are incorrect, even if the students did not receive service that should have received service. I'm like way off track right now, but
Mother Mind Hour is here.
Hi, Mother Mind Hour. I put my head down because I be
Hi,
like,
Mother Mind
give
Hour.
us some respect. Give us some respect.
Mother Mind Hour. We just had. Well, not we. It was me. I had me a good time today. You had
Jackie.
You had to be at work. I had me a good time.
I had a good time at work.
My friend's birthday was today. We went to school together, and so her and her mom and me and my mom and another friend of ours went to brunch, and those old ladies were so cute. Oh my gosh,
boomers!
I wouldn't call them boomers. Because this is my understand. This is my understanding.
What you call Sherry?
Okay, like how we talk about the word woke. That's kind of what we've been talking about, right?
That's right.
Okay, so a boomer is a person who is like out of touch.
And that's not Sherry?
Socially. No, my mom is not out of touch socially. A baby boomer is a person that is like older but still like can hang. Don't my mama hang? Don't say my mama don't hang. When you know my mama, thank you. Okay, I'm about to say, don't do my mama like that now. My mama's a G.
Granny.
Like Mother Mind Hour.
Like G stands for Granny.
Ah!
Literally.
No, you didn't.
That's the sweetest thing I can say.
G stands for Granny.
G stands for Granny. A real Granny.
So
real niggas don't have time for that.
My mama got time for that.
You see? But speaking of woke, I want to be able to allow you to, Abby, do what you do.
You want me to play this?
I want to play this because this is a small compilation of what it means to be woke in Black life.
Okay. You know it's Facebook, so I gotta do it like this.
Coming to an end.
You are already a spiritual being. You cannot separate the spirit from the body.
I need you to know your power. I ain't here to make it sound fly. I'm here to tell you how it is.
Even in the Sumerian tablets, they called it the creator of all. So even they knew they weren't gods in terms of the creator of the universe as a whole. But when I say we're all gods, I can't snap my fingers and create a planet, but I have a certain level of control over my own reality. So that means I'm a fractal of the God as a whole. That means that the power of the divine spark that created everything in the known universe is inside of my body. Give me the ability to create things myself. Every single one of us here has manifested reality. I have a microphone in my hand. This microphone was created by a conscious thought. Somebody thought about this microphone in the original platform called the multi-dimensional platform. Our brains connect to 11 dimensions. Peer-reviewed science.
Talk to him.
I've been saying this for over a decade. People laughed at it. Now it's peer-reviewed science. 3 years ago, the Brain Institute has now quantified this. So this platform up here is where thoughts begin. A person said, I'd like to have a device that people can talk into that can magnify voice. Now it's in a multi-dimensional state of being. But then that person collapses it into 2 dimensions by drawing it on a piece of paper. 2D, connecting the lines. The blind faith era is coming to an end.
You are already a spiritual being.
Mute. There you go.
I really am fascinated by Billy Carson.
Before you
hold up.
You go into that,
what?
Can you address Jack?
I'm trying with everything I have.
Jacqueline.
As you can see,
petty. She petty as
no,
fuck.
she's not. She's observant. She's very observant, and she's across the excuse me.
Oh, your mom
she's
is
across the pond. So, Jacqueline, as you can see, this started out as Black athletes and politics. I rebooted into BlackLIFE. Now I rebooted into BlackLIFE, Our Life. and today we'll be incorporating a new segment called Abby, Do What You Do. Just do what you do. So I have a video that I wanted to stir some conversation up with Abby Do and Nahilo.
Is it this one?
Yes. It's 10 minutes. We can pause into it.
Nahilo, you there? Okay, I'm gonna bring you on stage.
Nahilo.
Is that okay? If I bring you on stage?
Remember when
okay.
you and Abby Do had a discussion noteworthy about Kamala being accused of being a Marxist. You remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this video dives a little deep into something that we all have heard her say. We've heard her say this fucking expression over and over again. What can be unburdened, what has been.
Oh,
that's what?
Oh,
and we all said what? But
this
this video kind of explains it a little bit more. And when I saw it, I was like, you know what? Even though I don't like this lady too much and I disagree with a lot of what she says, I have to look at this with an objective lens and take a step back. I'm serious. I have to step back because at first you can fall into hold up.
Sean said Mark Samala.
Can I say this?
Yes.
Just like I was fooled into watching MSNBC for so long, I get fooled just like everybody else into this political game, thinking people are gonna be who they say they are and do what they say, but they don't.
She not.
They not.
Mm-mm.
And what I'm saying is, this video, just like Abby gonna tell you guys, politicians lie. They're great actors. They can be one thing in real life and then pretend to be something else just for votes. And I don't want to be a sucker. So when I listen to this video,
may I
it's
say,
just like I said, it allowed me to become more woke as far as enlightened and intelligent on what people really are.
The way she keeps changing her voice, like code switching her voice.
But she's the only one.
Based on no, she's not.
Right.
That's in my.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, never mind. I'm
That's
gonna bring it
why
up later. Never mind.
That's the whole point.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do it live.
So now I want you to watch this video,
ready?
and then Abby Deer is gonna leak into some stuff she wants to talk about.
How long is
But
it? It's 10 minutes.
We don't have. It's 10 minutes, but we don't have to listen to the whole 10 minutes. But it's very, very interesting.
Okay.
Because I kind of sped it up a little bit, but it's very interesting to me. And guys in the chats, I want to hear what you got to say as well. Other side.
Other side.
Trying to explain to me what you interpret by what can be unburdened by what has been. What does that mean?
I don't know if I should say. I don't know if I should say. There's a line in Marx where sometimes you hear certain phrases like "a world to win." AOC uses the phrase "we have a world to win," which comes from the end of the Communist Manifesto, originally written in German. It was the name. I used to hang out in the Revolutionary Bookstore in Cambridge, Massachusetts with the communists because they print everything in every language. So if you're trying to learn multiple languages, they'll print the same text in all of these languages and you can compare. It basically says you have to wipe out what has been to arrive in the new.
And where's it from? What can be unburdened by what has been?
It's not a direct translation, but it occurs in Karl Marx. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I could find you the exact reference. If you think about what Mao had to do to wipe out Chinese history, what Pol Pot had to do, you're trying to wipe out memory because the memory has all of this burden. Why is it important to go after doctors and lawyers and teachers and professors? Because in some sense, they are going to resist the new order that you're about to impose. You're looking for a blank slate.
So like a tether to the past.
Right. Well,
Okay, I'm going to tell a story I don't know that I've ever told anyone. Maybe I have, maybe.
Go ahead.
That often comes across as making Marxists look quite bad. We want to come after all the intellectuals because we're not that intellectual ourselves with our so-called scientific theory, political theory there. But the thing that is being neglected, the quiet part not being said out loud, is how often these intellectuals are like the biggest bootlickers, whatever, upholding like the imperialism, right? You know, like the ones who build the atomic bombs, you know, the ones who make vaccines that are not good for you, like depends on the certain example you want to come up with. But
can I say something?
Yeah,
it's just like a slave owner or a white supremacist or somebody trying to tell somebody else what to believe about some shit. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and that's why I played this. That's why I want to play this video. You know what I mean? Because just because you are intellectual and intelligent in a certain content area doesn't mean you represent everyone, everything, and truth.
Oh,
you feel what I'm saying?
Like that dude,
Terrence Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say he represents everything.
I'm just playing.
But that's my point.
I'm just fucking with you.
Intelligence doesn't dominate facts, life, and reality. Intelligence can be manipulated by ego. Agree or disagree?
Well, intelligence is not morality and vice.
No, it isn't.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's ego comes in there.
This is
your
where
ego start fucking with you.
Some would argue that there's a need to keep like religion and science separate. You know, like a separation of church.
Well, isn't there a need to keep it
right? Some people would argue there's a need to acknowledge that they cannot be separated because they're intertwined. It's like a age-old debate, right? But
well, that's just like government
as in morality. So then we're kind of saying like I was watching a podcast, I guess to throw out a shout out to their Canadian guys called the Skeptical Leftist, and he's got an American libertarian socialist at their pair. They do like book reviews. I think it was called Red Reviews. So you check out the Skeptical Leftist. He was talking about this the other day, how in his mind you need to keep the spheres separate so that they don't interfere with each other. Like in,
you want me to tell you what's the problem with it? In my perspective, Nahila, not to cut you off, greed, personal fucking ambitions or things. That's what the problem is. It's because just because you are an intellectual or highly intelligent, sometimes your ego will put something on your fucking mind to put everyone like that. Fauci, what's his fucking name?
Fauci.
That motherfucker, he want recognition, prestige, money, all that shit. You could be as brilliant as a motherfucker.
Disclaimer, fair use.
Oh, sorry.
As far as but this is a good time to bring, since you're mentioning Fauci, about the idea that you want to keep morality out of science and science out of morality.
How can you?
Because when you're trying to make things like eugenics and stuff, you're trying to tell people in a mass public health kind of way what they need to do with their body for the good of all the other bodies around them, kind of thing. Now you're taking science and you're making a morality statement or judgment.
Exactly. That's just the same thing as religion in government, religion in politics, religion and education. Right. Tell me if I'm wrong. You can't mix that shit, because if you mix that shit, then you start mixing what this person believes in at the detriment of these people.
Indoctrination.
It's not so simple though.
It starts to become indoctrination.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's always a risk of somebody being stepped on or ignored or abused.
You know what? Emmy asked, not Emmy, Kimmy. Kimmy asked me today.
What?
She said, "You ever heard of a Pastafarian?" I said, "Yeah. You ain't heard of that?" She said, "No. I was at the DMV, and somebody brought it up because they was talking about religion in schools."
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of Pastafarian, Michael?
Rastafarian?
Pastafarian, yes. So it's somewhere in the Midwest. In the Midwest, they were trying to bring Christianity back into the schools.
The same as 2025 trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing that in Louisiana right now.
They're on a mission to do that.
Yeah, you got to put the 10 Commandments in schools and stuff here. But let me finish with what I'm trying to say. So sorry. So this person said, "Well, if you're gonna introduce that religion, I got my own religion." He made up a whole religion called Scientology. No, Pastafarians.
If you don't think, I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
So it's like the flying spaghetti monster. That's the god.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, John H knows what I'm talking about. Ramen. Pastafari. So he made up a whole religion of the flying spaghetti monster. I'm gonna pull up a picture of him and show you guys, so you'll see. And he said,
pulling that up.
He said that if you can teach your religion, then you should teach mine as well. And it went over so well, like when he sued the state, that they had to not put the Bible in the schools. So
well, that was a very
it was kind of genius.
Yeah, clever way to get
Go
around.
ahead, T. Here it is. The Flying Spaghetti Monster.
My point
that's the Flying Spaghetti Monster right there.
Yeah, I know. I wish you could pull up closer on that spaghetti monster.
Maybe I can make it bigger.
My point is this: if this country was supposed to be founded upon not mixing religion, politics, why are we so insistent on putting religion into everything, knowing that we have a diverse society and population? Why does things have to be mandatory? Why does it have to be mandatory that I believe in certain things in order to be have access to certain things? And why am I judged because I believe in what I believe in and not what you believe in? Why does that shit? And look, as a black person in a black life, having your own unique individual beliefs of whatever spiritual shit you choose to believe in. For example, when I showed Billy Carson, Abby Dude doesn't agree with Billy Carson. She doesn't know. I'm being real, right? You don't know a lot about him to be able to form a judgment or critique about him to form a judgment or critique.
Right.
But you can if you hear him. Excuse me?
You're yelling.
I'm talking forcefully. This is not even my mic. It's your mic. That's just how my voice is. If my voice is a little too hard, holla at me, folks. Tell me if I'm screaming. Abby Dude just is a little sensitive.
I mean, you screaming in my ear.
I know. Sometimes we gotta work with it.
I think you sound fine.
Look,
my point
Michael
is
said you sound fine.
My point is this.
Sean said you good.
Thanks.
You just in my ear with all that loud.
She don't. It's loud when she don't agree. You know.
No.
If she agrees,
in my ear.
Jackie, you talk about that constantly. If she agrees with what I'm saying and I'm loud, oh, it's pumped up. It's everything in life.
We keep it
It's
crunked
great.
up.
Oh yeah, it's
John Blaze and shit.
If I say anything that she disagrees with, I'm too loud. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's a difference. You see, look at the face expression. And when we go back, because we watch the show again after we're done. When we go back, I want you to look at your face. Go ahead, look at it.
Look at Michael's face. Don't he look so cute?
Of course,
He's so
always,
adorable.
Always. Look how she tried to distract me.
I feel like I look grumpy or something. You know?
Diddy me.
Wonder
Right?
why people think
I
look
just know in the audience saw that. She be Diddy me right fast. Distraction.
Jacqueline said she an innocent bystander.
Distraction.
Leave her out of it. Leave her out of it.
No, look what you did. You tried to use a cute face. Look at that baby face and not heal. Look at that baby face. It's like a Justin Bieber face. You tried to use that to distract me.
Trying to make me blush.
I'm only kidding.
I know, we just.
I heard you didn't like Justin Bieber.
No, I never liked him since the moment I heard of him.
In retrospect, seeing how this little man got played like a tissue paper, that boy got passed around like a Kleenex. I'm not even kidding. You see the videos. You hear the word.
Yeah.
That ain't me.
Now I feel bad for him.
You should feel bad.
Yeah, I don't have the animosity towards him.
That boy found God. After that, Haley Bieber rescued him.
Yeah. Just as a
I feel bad.
Canadian, growing up more or less at the same time as him, he's a bit younger than me, but I think I was in high school when he became famous or something. So just you get that resentment that this is the kind of person that's being treated as.
I don't know, Sean. Abby, do you want to know what you meant by that no kill? Who? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hill.
I don't know what that's okay.
Sean said something, and Abby was like, "What does that mean?"
I know what it means, but I didn't want to cut him off.
I'm sorry.
I'm asking.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just probably a little out of context, whatever his comment there.
No, you weren't.
He said morals.
Or morals, Toss.
As far as the morals, what was?
Wait.
Oh, you want me to?
No, not you. I'm sorry. I was talking to Abby.
Oh, because I was seeing.
I was just moving over.
Jacqueline said, "Who decides on the morals? Morals of a neoconservative might not be the morals of a socialist, and vice versa." So, I don't know if we were going to go back to the Kamala video.
Yeah,
she wants me to still play it
because I want you to hear some stuff, and I want your opinion on it.
1 hour and 30 minutes in.
It's cool. It's only like less than 10 minutes. I wanted to know what you and Nahil think about what this man said about why she's using this comment.
Well, let's just do it.
So, as far as the unburdened by what has been thing,
yeah,
they're gonna have to be a little bit more clear before I'm gonna take their word for it that comes from.
Watch what he says. She's saying.
What he said was that there is multiple languages and translations. I'm not sure if it's that's a kind of sounds like a sophistry kind of spurious thing that you're not actually clearly linking it to an actual source, but gullible people will believe that you've made that you've provided evidence when you haven't. So
right, but listen, like the story he tells from his perspective, connected to what she's saying, that shit hit me. It was like, this was this motherfucker James.
Okay, let me play it.
All right, go ahead.
I guess maybe you could think.
I like it.
So, one thing that just quickly comes to mind is being unfettered by the fetters of capitalism. So that's maybe a paraphrasing, and that's maybe what they're kind of reaching for. So it's not like we have to be totally against the idea. Like now we're going to attack the idea that we want to be unburdened by the shackles of capitalism. We want our liberation in a sense, right? But these people want to twist these words and poison the well as opposed to represent anything revolutionary. So.
That's what I want. Look, I'm not as well versed and intellectually exposed in this area like you and Abby on Noteworthy.
That's not
right?
true.
I swear to God, I'm not. The reason I picked this video is because what this guy said, I understood. But when you and Nahilo go deeper and y'all start talking about stuff, I'm not as well versed on certain things like you guys are. And so when I heard this, I was like, oh, I want to know what you guys got to say about this, because when he explained it using his example, then I started seeing, because he was like, don't you guys think Kamala is like for me like a drunk? Because people be trying to put out like she drunk, she not really intelligent, just kind of same things they were saying about Bush. Like, you know what I mean? Like just trying to buy that act that they're pushing.
Even if she's not drunk on real liquor, she's at the very least power drunk, right?
She's power drunk, but at the same time, her actions and all of the shit she knows because of her education and training and exposure is well intended and focused. So she, just like Bush, when Bush, I'm gonna let Abby talk to you guys about that later. But just like when Bush put on the front,
don't give it all up.
I'm not gonna give it up. But just like when I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say, just because they show one side of themselves, they're pandering. They're not really that person. And so listening to what he says and listening to what she says, it's making me think, like, is she really saying this shit because she believe it, or is she trying to pander? Because that hot sauce shit that Hillary said was pandering.
She got hot sauce in the
like
bag.
everything she said is pandering.
Right? And so
there's other ways to look at that unburdened quote. Like people are going to read Marxism into it, but what I see based on their actions is a more eugenic approach where they want to be unburdened by the people holding them back, like kind of great reset kind of culling. Right?
Exactly. So, that's what I think too. So let's listen to the rest of this and we can talk about it a little bit more.
We'll see you on the other side.
Not that much.
Okay.
It's tethered to the past.
Okay, I'm going to tell a story I don't know that I've ever told anyone. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Can't promise it's original to you. But I was in Hoi An in Vietnam. Now I'm going to lose this one. Hoi An is one of the only beautiful places that I found, you know, like Hue and Hoi An. A lot of things were really ripped up in that war. And there is an unbelievable and difficult instrument, which the Vietnamese language is very hard, so I'm going to say it wrong, it would be written as Dan Bao. It's one string and a giant lever, and you pluck the harmonics, and it's supposed to be an intimate instrument, I think sometimes played by the blind, where only the person who's intended is the recipient of the music. Okay. I see this in a window in Hoi An, and I become transfixed by it. And a woman says, I see you looking at this in English. Would you like to come in? And I said, I don't want to impose. She says, no, it's not mine. So she invites me in. And there's this guy who appears to be brain dead. He's like deformed. I'm not going to get through this. And he's speaking very haltingly, and I don't know who he is. And something about music, something about journalism, something about a professional. I can't really make out what's happening. I'm asking about the instrument. And this woman brings him a guitar. And this deformed man starts playing some transcript, like Chopin or some piano concerto on the guitar at some incredible level. And I can't even imagine that his body can do it. And so I have no idea where I am or what's happening. And then he motions for like a book. And she brings a book. And it has all of these articles about this man tortured for his principled stand against communism. This man has been destroyed, mind, body, to the point where it's just painful to watch him. And I realized that basically do you know what a nail house is? If you Google nail house under Google Images, do it. Or you can't do it, or you're off the internet.
No, I can do it.
Tell me what you see.
It's a tall building, an individual standalone structure in the middle of a road.
There are these people who will not give up their homes when a shopping mall goes in or a road is put. And for some reason, they'll build a highway to screw over the person who stands up and says, I will not move. And the idea is that that road is the future, unburdened by what has been, and then there's some holdout who won't go along with the program.
If Kamala Harris is as unsophisticated as we think she is, do we really believe that she is quoting from the dark?
Seems like he was building right up finally to that moment. We should maybe rewind a moment just to replay that.
Yeah.
Specifically,
Michael,
I just want to say something.
Okay. But this is I want you and Abby especially. Listen, I picked this video so Abby can lead into. I know we like 1 hour and 30 minutes. Abby can have 30 minutes to herself. But look, I picked this video just because what he was saying sounds like something you guys would cover on Noteworthy, right?
Yeah.
And I would love to hear your perspective from your experience and education and exposure, and also Abby. Because this story, what he's saying, that shit hit. Like when I heard him say that, and then when I hear her say that, I'm like, it hit Bush. It made me think of George Bush.
Can I give you a perspective?
Go ahead.
So, you know, my brother's house, that greenhouse on the other side. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no
That
idea.
man refused to sell his house.
Right.
He said, I will not move.
And that's what
they had to build a subdivision around his house
That's like, you remember Up? Was that the movie, the Disney movie Up?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a cute ass fucking movie? It was so much shit. But anyways, let's get back to this one. I'm sorry.
As far as that gets into the idea about individual rights and freedoms come before the collective kind of thing. And
right.
And it's such a tragedy that this person would have, like, he was saying something about gonna pave over this person, like a road over the person, like to kill them. Or
Yeah.
Really.
Like he's talking about this person went through deformity and all kind of stuff. Like that's what I heard. I want to hear what you hear.
Communism caused his deformity. Is that right? Is that what he?
I don't know. That's why I want to hear what you hear. I heard what I heard,
but
but I want to make certain that that's what I heard.
Playing on the emotional
I
keyboard.
looked up the term nil house, and it's a term used in China to describe a home or its owner who refuses to leave their property when it's being developed. The term is a translation of, say it again,
gentrification. That's one missing element.
The term,
most people do that.
Well, eminent domain, they could just take your house.
They could take it.
So the term is a translation of the Chinese phrase "dingzihu." Am I pronouncing this correctly? You think? Dingzihu.
Babe, your guess is as best as mine.
Which literally translates to nail household or householder. So that's just
Well, it just sounds like he's leaving some context out. It's just some kind of random homeowner. Because the thing about communists is we're more about the means of production. We're about
it ain't finished.
The ownership from a bourgeois, or in the case of the Soviet Union, they were taking away the land from the kulaks, which would be the petty bourgeois landowners, the farmers. Okay, and then there's a lot of people make a whole lot of noise about how oppressive it was for them to confiscate that territory and property and stuff like that. The point that they're trying to leave out is the reason why it needs to be expropriated from these people is because they are not sharing the wealth with the community. They are trying to enslave people through wage slavery on their land by hoarding the resources. And then we're going to leave out the fact that we are taking the dragon's mountain of money away. And that's the point of it, as opposed, oh, the poor dragon, right?
Michael, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the property taxes that Exxon, Chevron, and all these people are supposed to be paying here in Baton Rouge to help the education system, but they're not.
Yeah. So,
but at any rate,
I mean, even the lottery was supposed to.
Yeah, the lottery is supposed to be for education. And you want to know how many gamblers they have here?
I don't know where the fuck that money went.
It's not going to where
it ain't going to education.
But
anyway, should we
finish this video right quick, and then Abby, you can show yours.
Okay. So here we go. Thank you for your insight, Michael.
I appreciate it.
No worries.
If Kamala Harris is as unsophisticated as we think she is, do we really believe that she is quoting from the dark depths of...
Why do you believe she is as unsophisticated as you have just claimed? What did her father do?
I don't know.
Look it up. And by the way, I am assuming that I will end up on the Open Skies watch list as a result of this podcast.
That is crazy, by the way, what happened to Tulsi. The quad S on her boarding pass. Donald J. Harris, the father of Kamala Harris, Jamaican-American economist, professor emeritus at Stanford University, originally from St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica.
What kind of economics?
What?
Known for applying post-Keynesian ideas to development economics. What's post-Keynesian?
I don't know.
Post-Keynesian economics is a school of economic thought with its origins in the general theory of John Maynard Keynes' subsequent development, influenced to a large degree by a name I can't pronounce.
I think that there was a lot of Marxist thought. And as a man of whose family comes from the far left,
it's funny he wasn't getting the...
You recognize certain sorts of
from the online that he
commonalities. I'm sure she would see them in me. The Democratic Party is not communist. I don't think that that's right. That's the critique of many of my right-wing friends. But it is welcomed in a lot of neo-Marxian thought. I would say AOC is straight up Marxist. I don't know. I think Kamala is everywhere between crony finance and Marxism. You're talking about things for which you do not have language.
So the reason that I said I don't think that Kamala can be as sophisticated as perhaps this obscure reference said 100 times, apparently, according to the archive.
Who's Charles Mingus?
I don't know.
Kamala's a lot smarter than you're giving her credit for.
I mean, this is the your point about how many levels through it do you go. This is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one.
Yeah.
But in order to be able to do the Ukraine is a country, it is a small country, Russia is a big country, they are a bigger country, this is bad, time is all around us. In order to be able to do that,
all right,
self-referentially, with agency, knowing what you're doing, the metacognition to be able to do that and play a role, to me seems that's like 200 IQ stuff to be able to do that.
I don't think so. I think it's 130 IQ stuff.
What's in the product?
I think you could do it better than you think. We could have a pretend.
IQ stuff is kind of shit.
I'm going to talk to you in a way you haven't heard before, son. I'm going to school you on a few things. You can stop that silly grin and wipe it right off your face. We can sound like however we want. I could affect some sort of Oxbridge accent, or I could do Cockney. It doesn't matter. You're looking at characters. This is why I wrote the 2011 kayfabe essay, because you're looking at professional. Do you imagine?
You're muted if you're trying to say something.
No, I just want to go back a little bit. It's almost at the end. So this is going to go into my next video where he's talking about you're looking at characters. So keep that in mind while you listen to the ending of this. It's only 1 more minute in, and then I'll pull up what was his name? David Graeber. May he rest in peace.
Mastermind. Okay. You just brag about 130 IQ, you know. That IQ stuff is bullshit. It's one of those things that as a stupid person, you'd love to take a shit on the IQ tests. Where actually, there's good criticism from lots of smart people that the IQ tests don't measure intelligence like you think they do. They're kind of arbitrary and biased. Other types of intelligence, right?
Yep. So we're just gonna play this last 1 minute, and then I'm gonna go into my my other video of the journalist. It'll make sense. Just wait for it.
They're trying to build up Kamala.
Just wait for it. I promise it'll make sense.
Why I wrote the 2011 kayfabe essay, because you're looking at professional. Do you imagine that the Iron Sheik? You know, who is the Iron Sheik? Who is Triple H? Who is the Undertaker? Do you think he actually works in a mortuary? These are characters. George W. Bush, as a debater in Texas for the governorship, was really, really smart. And suddenly he got real dumb and folksy. And do you imagine he actually says nuclear? He knows it's nuclear. You know, I would learn to say nuclear. I could say nuclear. Yeah, I got to be careful with that nuclear physics. And I can get Democrats to correct me and look like assholes every time. There's an old FDR line, which is nothing in politics happens by accident. Don't get taken in at level 1.
Yeah, except that there's plenty of things that happen in politics by accident, and like a lot of, not just politics, but in any kind of profession, when people make mistakes and they don't want to be embarrassed by them, they would often rather cast those accidents as not actually an accident at all. I meant to do that. You're muted there.
My bad. Okay. So remember what he was saying about these are characters, right? So I want to play this journalist who talks about how these characters represent themselves to us.
Right. So by character, you mean liar? Is that another way of just calling them? Yeah.
Right. Actors and entertainers. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry.
So she's acting, but she's a Marxist. So is she acting like a Marxist, or is she really a Marxist? Right? You get to kind of
what is AOC acting like?
Yeah, acting like a Marxist, right?
So okay, so listen to this.
The kind of politics we have now, where the left is represented by this kind of Obama Macron style centrism, where you're both for the market and for bureaucracy at the same time, is kind of horrible, right? The only possible appeal of that kind of politics is, well, at least they're not Nazis, right? So what they want is the left to be this kind of mishmash of bureaucratic market centrism, and the right to be outright fascist. To set the ball rolling in an actual left direction will make that centrism look like utterly unappealing. In France, sometimes they talk about the extreme center, and I think that's a fitting phrase. It strikes me that what's called the moderates are the most immoderate people possible. And the reason why they're so uncompromising, I think, is because they realize they don't have a lot of positive arguments. They're not really for anything. I mean, somebody like Obama, the reason he worked was because he looked like the kind of guy who would have a vision. He acted like a visionary. He had the intonation. He had the way of standing and looking into the distance like he really believed in something. And it shows you something about just how much visionary politics has been killed. It didn't even seem to occur to people to ask what his vision actually was, right? Because it turns out, insofar as he had a vision, his vision was not to have a vision. He believed in pragmatism and compromise and so forth. And that's what the center has been reduced to. It's become this pure set of performative symbols. And at the same time, you get to feel morally superior, which is ultimately what centrism, what liberal centrism is all about, is the ability to feel better than other people. So there is a kind of a symbiosis whereby the right wing pretend to be stupid, like George Bush II sort of perfected this. Like, I'll act like a yokel. All of the liberals will make fun of me as an idiot. Everybody who resents the sort of cultural elite for having monopolized all the good jobs will look at them sneering at me and say, yeah, I bet those guys feel the same way about me as they feel about Bush. I'll vote for Bush. Ha ha ha, stick it to him, right? That shtick, Trump is just doing it in a more extreme version of the same thing. Johnson's doing the same thing. You act like an idiot, the people who are sort of educated elite make fun of you, and it works. Now, who's really the idiot, right? People keep falling for the same stupid trick over and over and over again. So there's a symbiotic relationship between these centrists who are just sort of sneering elitists.
Hold on a second. Okay. I wanted to pause it because I want to hear from our viewers or chat people. How many times do we have to see the formula before we start doing something different? We see the same formula of somebody like Bush, somebody like Kamala, somebody like Obama. Like, how many fucking 4-year cycles do we have to go through before we start waking up and saying, like, you know what? These motherfuckers just saying shit we want to hear. They're just saying things we want to hear and trying to get us to vote for them, support them, and then they abandon us. Like, in the Black Life, I want to know, how long will it take for Black people to stop playing identity politics? I got angry at Jimmy Dore for talking about identity politics, but I see that it's a real fucking thing. It's a real thing if you can't see that somebody is just using you. He is disrespectful because he comes from a white perspective, and that's just my perspective. But I don't like the fact that identity politics is a real thing. No matter what the fuck Jimmy Dore says, it is a real thing because you got Black people supporting folks just because they're Black, just because they're a woman. And it's like, these people are actually opposite of what your life needs. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand how long do we have to watch it? That's my problem. That's my point.
Well, just let me unmute you.
She's married to her handler.
How many black people are married to handlers?
Just go ahead and tell me. Every fucking black rich person is married to somebody that will do something to influence not us. So tell me what the fucking, like, really, bro, what's the problem?
Don't marry the opposition, right? That's kind of important.
It's not even, I don't want to say that because love is love.
Henson.
Taraji?
What her name is? I don't know. She married to a Jewish man, her handler. Kamala married to a Jewish man, her handler.
Obama was the closest they had to what authentically black should look like, because he appeared to be a black. Listen.
His mama white and his dad from Kenya.
Abby, listen. What was projected to America was Obama
was a black man and his wife was black. I don't care what y'all say. Those two things alone recruited over fucking 80% of black people. You feel what I'm saying? Like, tell me, argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong. Just Obama being black, or
I don't care what you say and think.
I'm talking about what was projected by media. I'm being real. You, me, and people, the majority of the people in our audience, listen, the majority of the people in the audience and what we listen to agree that he is not a supporter of Black America. He's not a supporter. But what was projected to us is that he represented Black. I don't care what you say or whatever. That's what was projected to Black people. And for boomers and everybody who does not follow media, politics, all that other stuff like I did, I'm admitting I was watching MSNBC. I'm admitting I was subjected to what I thought was intelligence that served the people. I wasn't. I was exposed to people who were fucking greedy, fucking manipulators who wanted to fucking self-preserve and do things to benefit themselves. I didn't know that. And the majority of people like me who look at news are not informed enough on that. They're not what I consider as woke. Woke means being enlightened, intelligent enough to make your own conscious decisions. That's what woke means to me. That's what this episode was supposed to be for me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's happening, huh?
That's what I hope. I mean, I hope people want to not be used as a pawn in this fucking political game and just vote for people for fucking identity politics sakes. And I do not want to agree with Jimmy Dore because I don't agree with him. He has a filtered lens of light.
I agree with him sometimes, just not all the time.
Listen, the same as I agree with Umar.
I mean, he's changed so much.
He's changed a lot. Yeah.
Excuse me. The same as I agree with Dr. Umar. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with Tommy Salmaga. What? I don't even know his last name. But I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with Tim Black in everything he says. I don't agree with Joy Reid in everything she says. And guess what else? Candace Owens. I agree in fucking almost 85% of what she says. Candace Owens is an intellectual, like Terrence Howard. It's with a grain of salt. Accept it if you want.
All right.
Like sometimes people can be right on a lot of stuff, but those little, the seemingly things that are little that they get wrong can be kind of big, you know.
Guess what, Michael?
Hold on. Is somebody in the chat?
Guess what else?
Oh, hello, Christopher.
Black religious preachers and those people have a lock on our community. And what they believe is what our community, a majority of our community believes.
There's a question in the chat.
Ask the question, but I'm just trying to say what I'm talking about.
I can't ask it if you don't let me read it.
Jackie. Get your girl.
Jackie. Look.
Jackie, get your girl. Get your girl.
This is our new member. So Christopher Greer, peace, Savvy Dude. Are y'all still on identity politics when there are real structural dynamic components being reinforced to suppress everyone in America, especially so-called black and white? Okay, so I don't understand when
I don't understand the question.
Hold on.
Well, I think we were talking about this earlier in the stream a little bit, where we were kind of talking about the generational discrimination, and kind of Abby was saying how you might be, she doesn't like people punching down, and you're saying
Go ahead.
accountable. And this is kind of about the identity politics of playing the blame game of who we don't like in our community, and so we're going to scapegoat them more for, and not really acknowledge the economic, the political, economic, like structural, systemic issues that are kind of causing all this beef to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Michael,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Nahila and Abby. The reason why I want to create BlackLIFE is to educate people like me. I don't claim to know everything about politics. I don't claim to know everything about the political agenda of people in power. But I want to know what the fuck they're doing. I want to know what's going on so that I can decipher what I can understand and what I need to ask questions about. What I don't like is people assuming that I believe a certain thing because I say one thing or because I do one thing. If I say this is BlackLIFE, I could be lumped up into a group of whatever. I'm trying to say that I'm a unique individual that is trying to learn and make the right course and the right decisions for my life. But I'm also conscious of what's going on in my community and honestly my neighborhood, because I don't have a community. I don't live. I wasn't brought up in this community where I live. Abby Du was, so she has a community in this neighborhood. I want that for other people, for the children that I service. What's missing in their lives is people that they can count on. It's people that they can go to if something is going on to interrupt their normal life. When I was a kid, I had an account at a local grocery store that if I got off, if I was let off the bus at school and my mom wasn't at home, I can go get something to eat. I can go to people that cared about me. In our community, there is limited opportunities for that. And that's my problem. That's what I want to.
Well, I think maybe the way that Christopher asked his question about are we still on identity politics, kind of the way that he's framed it is a little bit potentially condescending as far as, well, let's not be maybe ableist in the sense that takes some people longer to learn. Maybe we'll still be stuck on a topic like longer than others as far as education. Educators know this, right? Like some people take a little bit more time on certain things, not like thinking slowly makes you any less intelligent. You know, some people just
less
have
human
processes, right?
I'm trying.
And also,
hold up, Mike. I'm sorry, Nahila. This is a thorn in the side of a sped teacher. Just because people don't learn on the same frequency or the same plan as another person, does their learning not matter? I'm trying to say you learn what you learn when you learn it, when it makes an impact on your life. I'm trying to understand why. I mean, look, bro. As an educator, I'm trying to understand the policies that I am instructed to enforce and the actual lives that I learn about and what they need as far as progressing as a contributing citizen of society.
Yeah. Well, I always like to keep in mind Marx's quote from each according to their ability and to each according to their needs. And so a lot of people are, this I find a bit of a problem with trying to build our communist parties and stuff these days is there's a little bit of a limited window of opportunity as far as how much people are willing to wait for someone to catch up kind of thing. I see people getting frustrated with you not being at the place where they want you to be so that we can organize and work together. So they're thinking, oh, sunk cost fallacy. I got to abandon this person. I got to invest my resources in someone who gets it faster, you know. And
you know what the problem is? Being forced to be in a learning environment and being forced to learn at the same pace as everyone else. That's what our education system is. If you're not learning when so and so and so and so is learning it, then you cause a disruption in the learning environment. Not saying that you need it at your pace and what you need in your life because of what you have been exposed to. I'm just trying to say, like, where does that come into effect or account?
Well, I was just gonna say this is also about part of like the woke stuff, where as far as to fix what with the education, as far as everyone being educated at the same pace, it's too woke to acknowledge that some people learn at different paces, and we need to have a little bit more specialized education and stuff. Other people saying no, we're all the same or whatever. There's no unique or whatever fairy identity for that person.
Yeah, we all gotta go on.
Okay, can we get back on topic?
That is topic.
Huh?
That is for me, but not you. I'm sorry.
What was the topic we're getting back to? It was a good, great David Graeber video. I haven't seen.
It's a great discussion. That's true. So first of all, Christopher, there's no way for me to. I cannot click on that because there's a limitation in this platform. So when you send a link in the chat, we can't click on it. Unfortunately,
because when we click
what
on it,
it can do is send keywords.
Yeah,
so
it
that we
doesn't
can look
allow
it up.
us. It only allows us to show. We can't actually Google it or whatever. So,
But if you leave keywords, I can find it on YouTube or whatever. You found it and share it in private chat.
yeah, you could give us like something else, but not the link. It has to be like keywords, and then we can Google it ourselves.
Do we address the second question that he had? This one here.
Oh, okay. So have y'all reviewed California SB 1050 in regard to the return of land to their rightful owners that was, oh my eyes, taken by eminent domain? I mean, okay, I lived in Manhattan. Central Park was an entire black neighborhood that was taken by eminent domain. Like there's no way to. They'll take your house for a Walmart.
I haven't reviewed
if
anything.
They want to.
But as far as my thoughts on the eminent domain there, I think people are uncomfortable with finding out that in the fine print, no one is the rightful owner to their land. If you're paying property taxes, basically, the land is owned by the state to begin with, and you're just kind of actually renting it, but we call it ownership for some gaslighting purpose. So.
You know what I want to say? I saw a video of a guy explaining just how much Americans are misinformed on what ownership means. Like as far as land, as far as what we it's a misconception.
Yeah,
it's a misconception. We tax much that we don't know what the fuck we really own and what we own.
How long is it gonna take me to get through these 3 minutes?
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
Shit. It's just 3 minutes.
I don't know how late.
It's been 30 minutes. I'm
Okay,
trying to
I got one more thing after this.
Appreciate everyone for hanging out with us.
Yes. Like, share, and subscribe. I was trying to put it in the chat so you guys could okay, let me just try it again. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to replay this video because it's here.
It's only a minute left. Right?
I know. I'm trying to figure out why it's taking so fucking long to play it.
This is interesting.
Point of view, and it works. Now, who's really the idiot, right? People keep falling for the same stupid trick over and over and over again. There's a symbiotic relationship between these centrists who are just sort of sneering elitists and these guys who are the scam artists who pretend to be yokels, who pretend to be idiots, or pretend to be fascists. They're not even real fascists. They're kind of phony fascists. They are trying to set up a situation where those are the only two viable political choices because they both feed off and complement one another.
Well, it's good to see.
I wanted to ask.
No, it's not. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Here it is.
Rest in peace, David Graeber.
Rest in peace, sir. Okay. Go ahead, T.
Just see what he has to say.
What I was trying to say is, you guys notice the pandering does not have like biases. Like the pandering will happen with Bush pandering to the less economically advantaged white people. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he was just talking about. That's what
exactly. That's my point.
Can you just say that I put a link in the chat for StreamYard?
Yeah, Abidu has put a link for that video.
No, for them to jump on and then they could
go
in
to
private
jump on
chat.
if you have a comment or if you have something interesting that pertains to what we're talking about. Appreciate it. But what I was trying to say is, do you see how easy it is to manipulate? When we originally started the show, we talked about Billy Carson talking about how race was created. And it was created by rulers. If I'm a ruler and I'm a dark-skinned, or I'm not going to say African American, but I'm a ruler, I'm dark-skinned.
We're not African American.
That's why I didn't want to say it, because I want to spark
I know.
a disagreement with you.
I know.
But my point is, at the first video, Billy Carson was saying, like, whoever was the ruler of whatever region created the brand for their people. And as black people, we were created in that brand. And so I'm just trying to say, like, there's so much to learn and so much to unlearn that the journey is very fascinating to me. I'm not claiming to know everything. I'm not claiming to believe in one person as opposed to another person. What I am claiming is that I love learning. And I want to hear from Billy Carson. I want to hear from Dr. Umar. I want to hear from Tariq Nasheed. I want to hear from Candace Owens. I want to hear from a lot of perspectives
Jimmy Dore?
deal. No.
Why not?
Also important.
Because my statement was, I want to listen to a lot of black perspectives about their experience.
Oh, okay. My bad.
The one thing that I do not respect about Jimmy Dore is that he does not take into account the black experience in life. When he came down, wait a minute. When he came down on Dr. West for identity politics, to me, it was though he was excluding or just not respecting the plight of a black person. It's not saying that that's what we only going to focus on, Jimmy Dore. But what we are saying is that you should acknowledge the plight and the experience of somebody outside of yourself as a white man, and a privileged white man at that.
You know what he
That's
did?
the part that
you know what he did?
I know you respect him.
No,
and I know you
I
listen.
was about to say something.
I'm finishing my statement.
Go ahead.
I'm finishing my statement.
Okay, land your plane.
I'm landing my plane.
Okay.
My plane is, I respect Jimmy Dore's exposure to information, exposure to people that I don't have privilege to.
Because he has a team.
But I don't respect his dismissal.
Go ahead.
His dismissal to the black plight of life. And that's what I feel that he did with Dr. West. It was like his ego was was the most important thing. Instead of listening to the plight of the black man, he wanted to superimpose himself and talk about identity politics as though he was a black man. Man, you can't speak for me, and you can't say what's important to me. And he dismissed it. And that's why I lost respect for Jimmy Dore.
Let me tell
to
you
your
let me tell you
extent.
when I lost respect
Go
for
ahead.
him. I lost respect for him when he was it was like a discussion about reparations, and he was like
dismissive.
He was very dismissive.
He does
and
not
he was
understand
like,
it.
you know what black people need? They need universal health care.
Yeah.
They need
The white man to tell them what they need.
on.
I understand. I'm
Can
sorry.
you stop?
I'm sorry. It
Thank
just
you.
it
Please,
invoked.
please.
Okay. But I'm
Please.
telling you why I did what I did. Because it invokes a big emotion from me. Because I hate when people try to act like they want to care about you, but dismiss how you actually feel and who you actually are.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are you done?
Okay.
So this is when I lost respect for Jimmy Dore. He dismissed us about reparations and said that you know what black people need? They need universal health care. They need student loan forgiveness. So basically, you are saying all the stuff that even white people need. No, that's not reparations.
He's implying the inventor's paradox. He's thinking you're going to solve the reparations problem by doing like socialism or something.
I think
he is disrespecting us by saying that, oh, if you just give them the same thing that you give us,
we'll all be good.
Then we'll all be good. No, bitch, that's not reparations.
What
reparations
he's failing to do, I hear what you're saying, Abby. And what I want to say is, what he's failing to do, and what the majority of people who oppose reparations are failing to do, is acknowledge what the fuck it means.
It's almost really not even about money. I mean, if you say
it's
that,
not just money.
Yes, it is because they want the money part of it, but it's mostly
because everybody else
it's like
has gotten it
other
in our face
that are denied. It's like it's about legally acknowledging the wrong has been done and having the person who did the wrong or the group of people who did the wrong acknowledge it publicly and historically so that you can actually like have truth and reconciliation.
Let me tell you something. I heard what you just said. That ain't my problem, bro. My problem is when another motherfucking race is given, like, for example, the Asian Act. When another race has their grievance, has their issues, has every fucking thing about their fucking life acknowledged, resolved, or given some fucking resources to acknowledge, but black people have not. But we have not. That's the problem that I have, man.
And I think a lot of white people and other ethnicities too would maybe resent that for like probably unfairly resent that, because they're still struggling under capitalism, even though they're ahead in a lot of ways. And so then, because we're all still suffering under this capitalism, it's like, hey, that's an unfair comment, because we're not really doing as well as you say we are. I mean, we're like, it's all relative, right? People want to say to each their own and that kind of stuff. It's like, but it's one thing to claim that the relativity is okay, like when you're on top to the face of the other people who are below you. Like, the imbalance feels much more like concrete to the people on the lesser side of the imbalance, right? The people with the advantage is always can kind of dismiss these issues as less relevant than the people who are suffering from them more directly.
I completely agree. Let me tell you what I am. I'm a visual learner. It's no way in the fucking America, the world, or anything is if you can grant others, I don't give a fuck who they are. If you can grant others reparations, acknowledgement, any fucking grace, but you refuse. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
fine. You fine. Look,
I'm trying to
look,
say.
the chat laughing. They said Tasha on one today.
No, I'm not. I've been on this forever, and that's why I have the show.
And they love it.
Let me tell you something. That's why I have the show. Because there's nothing that could explain to me how other fucking people can get reparations, acknowledgments, any fucking anything.
Tasha.
Listen, I'm angry, and I have a right excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Can you allow me
my
to
fault.
express my anger?
Go ahead.
My anger is if you're going to get me to accept that, hey, it's right for gay and lesbians to be treated respectfully. Hey, it's right for Asians not to be condemned and treated disrespectfully and killed for their lives, their religion, their whatever the fuck.
But gosh, why you gotta scream?
No, because I'm angry. I'm an angry black woman for a legitimate fucking reason. No.
She said no.
Get your hands off me.
No.
My point is, I want somebody to look at this motherfucker and explain to me how can you expect me as a black woman to support, to defend, to acknowledge anything for anyone that is not fucking me.
Tosh, I gotta ask you this.
No, I quit.
Sean say, when we getting that Jimmy diss track? Get in the booth.
Oh, baby, I'm about to get Sean. You don't want me in that booth. I'm about to.
No.
Okay, fuck that. If you
Lord, oh my God.
This weekend, I'm going in.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. Sean, I have the boot vibe for you. And Rondo, and even Jackie. Before we leave today, this is a boot vibe that I want to give to you.
But before we do that, can I play this one video?
2 minutes and 20 minutes. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I know, because y'all asses is crazy.
I don't get
you. Jeez. Sean said he love you, Toss.
Thank you, Sean. I love you. I'm tired of this. I want some answers. I want some answers.
Get ready for the action. So I just wanted to play this one. It's only a minute and 11 seconds long, so it's not a big deal. But I wanted to remind people as we go into this election cycle.
If you want to pull the party, the major party that is closest to the way you're thinking, to what you're thinking, you must show them that you're capable of not voting for them.
Because the way the Democratic Party is run now for quite a number of presidential cycles is they pick a nominee in a kind of half-ass process that doesn't really represent much of anybody. And then they tell everybody to just shut up. Don't bring up anything that will complicate life for your nominee. You know he's not for you on this. Why badger him? He's not going to be for you for reasons that you don't understand, but are good reasons. Shut up. Turn off your brains.
If you don't show them you're capable of not voting for them, they don't have to listen to you. I promise you that. I worked within the Democratic
You
Party.
messed it up.
I didn't listen or have to listen to anything on the left while I was working in the Democratic Party because the left had nowhere to go.
You keep fucking it up.
Stop.
I just want to remind people
The best way to attract high-ticket coaching clients is not to spend.
Because in the coming weeks we are going to have Michael. We have to have a discussion about what is our strategy. How are we trying to vote? What are we trying to do?
Well, I think it's a good reassessment of the strategy. A lot of people are deciding it's the Green Party. A lot of people are just saying not voting is a good strategy, but there's a little bit more to it, like what beyond not voting.
I don't think not voting is a good strategy.
Let me tell you what not voting is.
Oh Lord, here
if
she
you
comes.
If you don't vote without a concrete strategy, it's like a tree falling in the wilderness. Who hear it?
Who hear
Who
it?
the
It
fuck
doesn't make
hear
a
it?
sound.
If it's falling down, okay. Abigail is calming me down because I'm so
Her
excited.
ADHD is kicking in.
It's kicking because
For real.
I'm trying to understand how y'all
And
supposed
it's very
to change
adorable.
something.
It's very adorable.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How are we going to change anything by shutting the fuck up, not voting, not saying nothing? We would have still been slaves, motherfuckers. We would have still been slaves.
T.
Okay, I'm sorry.
God
I'm just saying.
damn.
If that was the mentality of Harriet Tubman and all her folks, we would still.
Sorry.
I'm going hard because we need to wake the fuck up. You got a mirror in your pocket and your pocket. Oh yeah.
We might have been going. We also had Abby's mic was on and yours was muted, so maybe you wouldn't have to go as hard if we had your. We'll switch the mics or whatever. Go ahead.
What mic said?
Because if you're both on, we got echo.
Muted. Like
because if I put watch.
Why was you doing that?
Okay. If I take this mic off,
you got a mirror in your pocket and you practice looking
afraid to show it.
Tasha's going ham. I don't know what she's doing.
My mama is so.
Woo-wee.
My mama is so hard today. I just want y'all to know.
Jacqueline says she loves your passion.
Listen, I'm tired of people trying to make me feel bad for standing up against people like Kamala. I'm tired of people trying to make me fight for myself, have accountability for my neighborhoods, have accountability for the children in the schools that I serve. They want me to continue to allow these kids to make inappropriate decisions. They want me to let them just be gangster rappers. I'm not with that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Wait, you changing the subject again?
No, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to defend.
Okay.
What I'm representing today. I heard some shit today.
Tasha owned one. She owned one today.
I heard kids in need today, and I see a community not stepping up.
You know who
to
you
the plate.
remind me of?
Who?
Michael.
I want to be like Michael.
Michael be like that.
You're so quiet.
Michael be doing that shit too. Michael will be so reserved, and then all of a sudden,
and then he goes,
just
"Fuck
like,
man,
I'm going to fuck off."
Michael,
like, what?
The other day,
pretty crazy.
When something happened to Michael the other day, and he was like,
Michael went the fuck off, didn't he?
He went the fuck off. And you know what I did, Mike? I sat back
and listened. And you was like,
holy shit.
That's my G right there.
I fucking love this.
I fucking love him.
That's what I said.
Good to find people who love it because a lot of people really hate it.
Hold on.
Scared about it.
Hold on real quick. We got to tell Jacqueline good night. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's
Thank
time
you so much,
to
Jack.
go.
Always good to see you,
so
Jack.
much.
See you next
I
week.
hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
Love you, Jackie.
Love you, Jackie. I know it's real late over there.
Well, read this what Sean said.
What Sean said? Oh, Tosh. Sadly, as one, all you can do is be a rock, something solid for them to hang on to. That's a leader.
I'm gonna be a mamba for life. And,
You know,
and I will always be an advocate for my students.
What's interesting, Sean? Okay, she has a master's in special education,
And educational leadership.
and then she has another master's in educational leadership. So you spot on.
I love my students. I love their family, and I hope to create a better community. You know, that's my goal.
Oh, that's my mama. I need to go check on. Okay, we got to wrap this up because my mama is out.
So now it's time for the boot vibe. I have an artist.
Wait. Before we do that, we have to give shout outs.
Okay.
Okay. So today
Nahilo?
is Tuesday. So tomorrow is 10 Robert Podcast. That's not that's a whole different channel. Check them out.
At 9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern, yeah. 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. Check them out. And then Thursday, come right back to Abby Do, Abby Don't for you and me, Michael. All right? For Noteworthy. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we always try to take a deep dive into something.
There's tons of stuff right now to talk about. So.
There's tons of stuff to talk about.
We
barely talked about everything we should talk about tonight.
Maybe if anyone has something they'd like to suggest real quick before on our way out of here, feel free to.
You can always either DM like on X myself at Abby Do, Abby Don't, or you can DM Nahilo Nordstrom on X if you have something you want to talk about. Hold on.
Even if it's on BlackLIFE.
Or BlackLIFE, that's right. But you haven't fixed your X yet.
I'll fix it, but in the meantime, you're welcome to add it to either of those platforms, and we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Because what's been really interesting, we've had people on. Golden Monarch was on.
Media Heartland Media was on 10 Rapid, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm saying like
interviews.
Yeah. If you have something that you specialize in and you want to talk about it, message us, please.
You know,
come.
Always looking for a good interview, right? Always looking to build some bridges.
And also make connections to expand all our viewers' knowledge.
Have a good night, Cheryl. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Mama Half Hour. Okay, so now we have to do this.
We're gonna end with the boot vibe.
Yeah, she want to end with a song from the boot.
Can I say something?
Is this about to be Ghetto Fabulous?
Let me tell you something. The boot vibe, we all in the boot rap about. Well, I say we like I'm a rapper. I'm not even a rapper. Look how I put myself out there. Freestyle pro. But at any rate,
you a chair dancer. You don't even dance. You a chair dancer.
I chair dance. I'm the best. I am the best chair dancer you will ever meet in your life. Just let you know.
Okay, tell us what we need to know about the boot.
I need to come out with like a hard video for chair dancing. Watch it. But anyway, I would like to introduce you to Cobra Clue. Cobra Clue from the boot. Huh?
I said, you gonna put my mama in the video?
If she try to challenge me, can't nobody stop me. I'm the chair dancing champion.
Put all the grannies in the video.
Why I gotta be?
That'd be dope as hell.
You don't know about Ting Ting?
Ting Ting.
Ting Ting can't stand up. That boy chair dance.
Go ahead.
I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
Go ahead, finish it up. So
anyway, I would like to introduce you to the featured audience. The featured audience of today is Cobra Clue with Stay By Me. I'll have a little bit more information. Cobra Clue.
Sean say thank you for the music. He like hearing new shit.
I appreciate that. This young man is one of my relatives. I got a lot of relatives in Louisiana that like to rap. So I must steadily be introducing you guys to them. And if you like them, follow them. Give them a shout out.
My nephew is also a rapper, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Abby Do has some music in her fam.
Yes, I do.
I'm not even gonna hate. He got some nice styles.
He do.
I mean, Louisiana rappers, they rap from the gut. They sometimes have great beat producers, but they just need an opportunity. They just didn't want to fall for that Diddy love. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I have a story, Rondo and Sean, that I got to tell you about some Diddy love that came very close to home. Well,
peace,
technically
fam.
not Diddy love.
Peace, fam.
Peace.
We'll save some for next time, though. So.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe.
I know you wish you would've stayed by me. Yeah. Don't fuck with me if you don't mean it. I know you wish you would've stayed by me. Yeah. Don't fuck with me if you don't mean it. I don't like the way they actin'. Niggas actin' just like hoes. Might as well go figure sketch. Your boss may be the team. Fuck with that, we get to actin'. I've been trying to change my ways, but my demons standing left. What you want too? I'm trying to see what's up. I'm sipping codeine, some of them fiends, oh girl, what's in your cup? We link up and I spend money. I just know we bout to fuck. It makes me feel some type of way that you never show me love. Yeah. I really wish you would've stayed by me. All that shit up in the past now. I know you wish you would've stayed by me. All that shit up in the past. She want fancy things, but I want money. I'm a different breed. I can't fuck around with no female who want me for her needs. I rent Lambos and track house in Houston for the speed. I've been ballin' to the fullest. I've been in a different league. Up in Houston, I've been ballin'. I'm just trying to live my dream. I remember Rapper Like Studio, me and Marley G. I grab them cases for the low, hit the road with that green. They be moving like a turtle. They addicted to the lean. If you ain't talking about no money, ain't no need for conversation. He just gambling with his life. That's one the situation. Had them youngins outside, choppers waking up the neighbors. This for all the hard times when my people wasn't able. Fuck with me if you don't mean it. I don't like the way they actin'. Niggas actin' just like hoes. Might as well go pick his cats. Your boss may be the team. Fuck with that, we get to actin'. I've been trying to change my ways, but my demons steady left. What you want too? I'm trying to see what's up. I'm sipping codeine, some of them fiends, oh girl, what's in your cup? We link up and I spend money. I just know we bout to fuck. It make me feel some type of way that you never show me love. Yeah. I really wish you would've stayed by me. All that shit up in the past now. I know you wish you would've stayed by me. All that shit up in the past now.
Rule number 3.